Oh, hey there. Well, I was hoping I could have a few minutes of your time to talk about Satan. First off, he's the first character we see in Milton's Paradise Lost, Book 1, right after the invocation of the Muse. And the invocation of the Muse makes a pretty bold claim. Milton's task is to assert eternal providence and justify the ways of God to man. Part of that, what that means, at least according to a critic, William Empson, who wrote a lot about Milton's Paradise Lost, means that Milton's putting God on trial. All right? And to further contextualize that, we have to discuss, like, what is it he's trying to prove? What's he trying to justify exactly? And as a good believer, as a good Puritan, Milton's trying to show us poetically why and how God can exist and is worth worship in a world with evil. This is the problem of evil. How is it that, how can God be omniscient and omnipotent and omnipresent, all things that theologians had relatively become settled upon by now and I think even then, but also how could God be benevolent? All of these things are wonderful attributes of a Godhead, but they don't necessarily explain why there's so much evil in the world. Now keep in mind, Milton is writing this poem when he's on trial, basically, for insurrection. The monarchy that he had a huge part in overthrowing had been restored. This guy was writing pamphlets on killing kings, okay? King Charles I was beheaded, and it's his son who becomes king and has to excuse Milton for his crimes, which were published. So he's looking into a very scary possibility. Okay, he could be very tortured and very killed. Anyways, Milton had seen war, Milton had seen tragedy, he had seen death, all of that, okay? And he's blind, he's living in darkness now. Why all this darkness? Why all this evil? Why all this bad? So that's a big question that we wrestle with, right? Who's responsible for the fall? And one thing to keep in mind in terms of historical context is where is Milton getting all of this incredible dialogue? The lines of Satan are so well written that people speculate as to the source. Is he like quoting Cromwell, Oliver Cromwell, the leader of the parliamentary republic that Milton worked with, who was, who died and basically represents all things evil to the newly restored monarchy? Is Satan an expression of Milton's more rebellious voice? All those pamphlets trying to change laws and radically renegotiate politics in his time. Is Satan like a Miltonic voice? Or is Satan like King Charles I, who claimed divine right monarchy and basically made the vain assertion of being equal to God, thus excusing his being beheaded in Milton's views? These are big questions, all right? And they help color the figure of Satan as we read into books 3 and 4. Now, one thing to note before I end this video is we met sin and death at the gates of hell at the end of book 2. And portraying sin as a beautiful woman and then torturing her for eternity is about as misogynistic as the literary canon gets. No excusing it. So think about that too, and have a good day. Get ready for this test coming up on Friday. Peace.